Hello and welcome back to the footballing question. We are fresh off of England's loss to France in the World Cup. We are out of the World Cup, out in the quarter-finals. It was 2-1, goals from Giroud and who's the other one?
Tchouaméni.
Tchouaméni, what a strike, to be fair to him. But yeah, Isaac, how are you feeling England at the World Cup?
A bit gutted
A bit
because
gutted because I remember, sorry to stop you, but I remember a specific moment when we were at the Euros and you were livid the next morning. You know, we were 12 hours after it and you were furious. So what's different here?
the difference is like with say Italy. With Italy, I thought it shouldn't have gone to penalties. We made a mistake in the game. We parked the bus and didn't go for it. And I said going into this tournament, England are going to play a back five as soon as the games get difficult, which is a kind of semi attack on Southgate in his negative style. But we went for it. We went stuck with the four and played amazing. And like it just didn't fall for us. It just didn't go in. And I thought I don't want to go into the obvious argument. We'll get into the obvious looming story over the game later and what went wrong. But we had chances, we didn't take them, and that's annoying. And we played amazing, and it's just a real shame. And that's why I'm gutted because we didn't like. You don't want to attack any of their players really because they really did they didn't play crap. Like
I feel bad for Kane, I actually do, and I don't usually feel bad for Kane considering, our allegiances to Arsenal. But okay, he's done brilliantly for the first penalty, although Lloris wasn't even going the right way. It was a great penalty. The second, you just don't imagine Kane taking that kind of penalty. If he misses, it's because the keeper's pulled off a brilliant save. If he does that, it's a 1 in a million chance. And I think Lee Dixon got the commentary spot on. He thought Lloris would go the same way, so he thought it put a little bit more on the strike, and he's gone too far, and he's just ruined it. I am gutted for him. I don't think he was our best player though. If anyone's going to take our penalties, it's Kane. For me, I don't know about you. Maybe it's our bias, but Saka's our best player by far.
I think Saka was the best player in the game by far, and I think his substitution is the one thing that Southgate got wrong. It is Southgate's worst decision this entire tournament, taking Saka off, because he was the best attacking outlet. He won us the penalty. On countless moments throughout the game, he should have won a free kick and didn't. He was taken down, and as Arsenal fans, we see this every week. He gets taken down and nothing's given, because he has some reputation as a diver when he doesn't actually dive at all. And he finally won us the penalty. He was amazing throughout the game, and he was our best attacking outlet, and then came on and didn't take a man on. He ended up really deep. He was playing long balls. And as soon as Saka came off, I felt like the way we were going forward completely died. I mean, the penalty didn't come from great attacking play. It came from an advanced player being stupid, the second penalty. Regarding Kane, sure, I'm not going to abuse him, but at the same time, there is a little, and I'm going to be dead honest here, there is a little part of me right now which is a little bit pleased, purely because I have lived through 18 months of one of my favourite players constantly being said, Bukayo Saka let the country down. English Tottenham fans have been saying it to me for 18 months. And now I'm going to put a mirror in front of them and go, what are you going to say about Harry Kane? Are you going to say the same thing? And I've seen the amount of Twitter threads I've seen of Tottenham fans who are going, oh no, Kane, oh no, oh no. And then people have put underneath it a screenshot of them 18 months ago. And it's just, and it's just the thing is that was it was the penalty to make him top scorer. It was the penalty to keep us in the tournament. It was, and
it is gutting. I agree with you. It's hard because, you don't really want to. Okay, come back to the Euros just quickly. Yeah, Saka missed that penalty. At the end of the day, coming down to the penalty, Saka's penalties was awful. Let's be honest. Let's be real about it. It wasn't a good penalty.
Dog crap.
They were awful, but in the moment you don't criticise them. However, Saka obviously got a lot of horrific stick. So did Sancho, so did Rashford. So you kind of do, as our captain, you feel like he should have taken that chance. I know it is, you can't repeat that pressure in any other scenario, but at the same time, you just think, God, Kane, he had to score. He just did.
The worst thing is, it's the fact that he's our captain. It's the fact that he's our penalty taker. He is our number one penalty taker. And then it's the fact that it wasn't saved. It was off target. Rule one of taking any shot is get it on target. whether it's a penalty or not, rule one is going on target, and for it not to be on target, it's just like from him. It's just, and the thing is, I can't see Kane being at our next World Cup because I don't think in 4 years he's going to be the same player he is, and he's not going to be starting. In 4 years' time, I don't think that. And I think this will go down as his England legacy, realistically, because past quarterfinals, he hasn't had these moments. Like, obviously, other than the penalty against Denmark, which was also missed. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's it for these England strikers now. Since it's been so long that we've won the World Cup. If you don't make it, unfortunately, your legacy as an England striker is that you weren't the man to deliver it for us. Rooney, albeit he's our top goal scorer, but he couldn't make it on the big stage. Come back to what you said earlier about Saka being just hacked down all over the place as well, though. I think we need to talk about the referee, because I think the referee was horrific. As much as England should have maybe been a little bit better in converting their chances, the referee was outrageous. Upamecano, how many times did he foul our players? How many times did he foul Saka specifically? And the ref watches Upamecano just make an absolutely blatant foul, ignores it, turns and then watches Bellingham make maybe the exact same foul or slightly less of the foul and goes, "Yeah, free kick straight away, mate. That's dead on foul." It was horrific.
It's such a literally, and the thing is, even though he gave us 2 decisions, he gave us 2 penalties, and of course we should have taken that second penalty, and that is our fault. At the same time, their first goal should not stand. I heard the commentary team say Saka always goes down a little bit soft. He went down a bit soft. You watch the replay, he has a nibble, another nibble, another nibble, another nibble. He kicks his leg like 5 times. He was going to go down eventually, and it's a joke. And I have no idea how that goal stands. And then, what is it? The penalty decision, which they said wasn't a penalty. I mean, I don't know whether it's in or not, but judging from the decision and how long they looked, I think that from the photos I've seen, I think it's in, and they didn't give it.
You know how sorry, ITV have that referee on standby,
Yeah.
and they ask him, what his opinion is. For once, the referee actually said a decision that hasn't been made on the screen, and he did say it's on the line, so it's a penalty. Or it's on the line.
So he said it was in. That's okay.
He said it was in, and it should have counted.
Harry Kane could have got a hat trick.
Whether he doesn't know the rules or not, I doubt he doesn't. It was so far into the box, you just couldn't believe it. All game, the referee was doing this in all game, and then it just seemed like France were getting away with everything. They should have had a man sent off, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, the amount of foul. I'm sorry, but Upamecano, did he get a yellow? Did he?
I don't think he did.
I don't think. Well, he made about 6 fouls. He shouldn't be on the pitch. And this is the argument I always make. It's something which I don't think I've ever seen a referee equally distribute yellows. For if you make a foul in the first minute, rarely are you booked. But if someone makes the same foul 10 minutes later on the other team, they will get booked. And I've always said that's not equal refereeing. I've been to games where I've seen a player make 2 fouls and get 2 yellows, and on the same pitch on the other team, a player's made 5 and got 1. And then you've got this. I'm sorry, the fact that France didn't have a player sent off, the amount of fouls, the amount of players being kicked, and they didn't even give us all the free kicks. It was a bit of a disgrace, but I don't want to boil it down to that. At the end of the day, we relied on 2 penalties when our finishing wasn't up to it. We had the ball so much, we carried the ball well, but when it came to the final point in open play, we couldn't get the ball in the net. And that's why we're out yesterday. And the fact that France had few chances, the only chance they had, well, I mean, the first goal's not even a chance. It's not a chance. I'm not counting that. The only 2 chances they created was the winner and Giroud's minute a few minutes before he scored. And one of them, Pickford saves us defensively. No one's marking Giroud. The second one, no one's on Giroud. Someone who's going to go in the air, and that's unfortunate. But that's the reality of what's happened. The Tchouaméni goal, I'm not gonna you can't say anything. The defenders are there. It's gone through someone's legs. It's gone in the bottom corner. You're not going to say anything. But realistically, if you want to win a tournament, you're going to need to be on it for every second of the 90. And there were 1 or 2 seconds where we weren't. And going forward, we missed just something. This is a question. Other than the penalties, can you remember Kane having a chance?
I was just about to say,
Really?
yeah, other than the penalties, do you think Kane actually had a good game for us? Because Really, I really don't think he did. I think he was quiet. I think he was relying on Saka to feed him in. And when he did feed him in, okay, I remember that one chance when he's one-on-one with Lloris. Saka picks out a brilliant pass and he tries the wrong finish. He could have just scooped it over him. He tries a Travella to scoop it over him. It was a weird kind of way to look at it. He also didn't square it, which he could have done again on numerous occasions. However, yeah, I don't think he actually had a good enough chance all game. Do you think Foden was good enough? Because I think it was just coming down Saka's side
We
the
seem
whole
to just
time.
be attacking down the right hand side. I think Shaw and Foden, as much as it sounds good on paper, I don't think it works completely because I think, if anything, I think Shaw is so attacking. They get into each other's way sometimes because Foden wanted to stay wide, but so did Shaw, and it just left a gap at times where someone like where Bellingham really, like really, Bellingham was carrying the left hand side all game and he was going beyond Foden at times. Really, that should be where Foden is, and yeah, we did attack really down the right hand side, which is why taking Saka off just made no sense to me. It made no sense. Taking Henderson off makes sense because it's an attacking substitution, but bringing on Mount is a dumb decision because I will say this: I don't think Mount is good enough to wear an England shirt. With the players in this squad, I don't think I don't think he is anywhere near players in this starting lineup. I don't care if he's friends with Declan Rice; he's not good enough. And to bring Sterling on, no matter what Sterling did at the last tournament, he was in England like 2 days ago, and taking Saka off is done. Bringing Sterling, Rashford's right there. Rashford did eventually come on, but realistically, I think maybe he should have looked on the left-hand side, invigorated the left-hand side, put Foden off. Yeah.
Rashford obviously should have come on sooner. I think we were crying out for that injection of pace because as much as Saka was getting forward, Rashford does offer something a little bit different. Whilst Foden was also having a poor game, he would have been tremendous. On the other hand, though, I also think we missed Trippier. I feel like we needed that kind of like creative spark, and we had a couple of free kicks that we could have done well with, and Shaw wasn't our man to convert those. He just wasn't. And whilst you can't just have a player on the pitch to take a free kick, I feel like we did kind of like that potentially that creativity with Kyle Walker at times. But I mean, Kyle Walker had to be there potentially for Kylian Mbappe, even though he can even catch up with him.
mean, if that's the case, maybe at half time, maybe you take Shaw off and bring Trippier on and play him a left back. And it's why I wanted to play that 5. For once, I wanted him to play a 5. Not because I wanted 5 at the back purely, but because I wanted Walker and Trippier both on the same pitch. One to deal with Mbappe and one for their attacking output. And it's annoying that Trippier didn't play because I really thought he started the tournament well. It was solid and he was been on form. I thought he started right back easily going into this tournament. And then he lost his spot in one game for Kyle Walker and hasn't seen it since, which is a shame. Considering I, a few months back, didn't think Walker would even get called up. Which realistically, I don't think he does if everyone's fit. Because, we could have gone into this tournament with like Reece James. But we don't want to talk about that in hindsight and everything. Overall, we're out in the
I think overall we need to talk about Southgate. Southgate has come into this tournament. We've had an easy group. We've gotten out of it. We could have done better in that group. Let's not deny that we could have done better against the USA. We weren't too convincing. At the start of the Wales game either. We then obviously got past Senegal. That wasn't a tough match, but then we did have our faults again. We've come up against a tough side, and like you've said in previous TikToks, and previous videos on this, we come up a tough side, and we've struggled. And we've struggled again. Southgate has had his test, and he's failed it once again. In my opinion, he failed against Croatia. He had the easy games up to the run-up, and everyone was so hyped about it because it was the first time in such a long time, and he's failed. Okay, the Euros, he did remarkably. But once again, at the World Cup, you come up against a team that is better than average, and he struggles. And I mean, France are a bit better than average, but you get what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, I've always been honest with my opinions on Southgate in that I would rather get a different manager in. And I know you're expecting me to come here as this grand moment, Southgate out. I'm going to hold it, but genuinely, I came out with this statement after the Wales game, which is that England this tournament so far haven't got going until we've got our first goal. And I thought this was our best performance of the tournament so far. Genuinely, I don't think we played better than in any other game. I think in Senegal, realistically, we were quite poor, and then we got our goals, and then we had 2 very quick goals, and the game was done at that point because Senegal kind of lost it mentally there. Wales were poor. First half we were pretty crap, but this game I thought we were really on it for the entire game. We were really aware of what we were doing. We knew what the job was, and we were playing well. And as much as I want to blame Southgate, I really don't think I can. I think you've got to say, what happened, happened. Let's move on. But at the same time, do I think it's time for a new manager? Yes. I don't think I do want a new. I think this is the end of Southgate's cycle with this England team. We've got a lot of young players, and I want them to develop with someone else. And you know, that is my opinion. That is always going to be my opinion. But he's done a decent job this tournament. I don't think he can be blamed because I think how he set us up was enough. France did not deserve the win. I think we did. I think we played well enough to earn a win. And when that doesn't happen, I don't think the buck stops the manager. I think the buck stops there at the players who didn't put the ball in net. And realistically, in open play, we didn't have many clear-cut chances. We had a lot of just nearly moments where it didn't fall, and that's not going to win you a game, And it's just that's just the truth.
I'll agree with you, to be honest. Yeah. To be fair, looking back at the way we did go forward, the boys did do well considering they're against a French team. However, conversion-wise, I don't think they did. There was a couple of pitfalls, and I think Saka was remarkable. But yeah, at the end of the day, I can't help but overlook the fact that Southgate has never really made this England side like a dominant team that looks like they're going to win the World Cup. As much as we were good today in times, we haven't. France have that fear factor about them, and yeah, they've won the World Cup, but they have that fear factor. They are a team that's well drilled. Germany had that fear factor when they won the World Cup. Spain with their dominance as well. You think that, wow, we've got no chance here. And England have never really been that convincing. However, I think one more final point as well. It's quite. Do you know, is Maddison injured? What happened with Maddison?
Actually, yeah, to be fair, you've brought back another thing. That is another annoyance. I mentioned Mason Mount earlier. I think Mason Mount is one of the most overrated players in world football. I don't understand how. I feel sorry for Chelsea fans who have to watch him week in, week out, because I don't know what he does. And Maddison is one of the. I think someone said this season that I think it was the top 3 England players, like English players in the league in terms of goals and assists this season. And I don't know if Ivan Toney was high up, but I'm pretty sure Maddison definitely was. It was like Kane, Saka, Maddison, and then Foden, who's done quite well. But Maddison has had an amazing season so far, playing for a crap Leicester team, which is starting to pick up a little bit of form. But, how he hasn't got a minute, like Conor Gallagher got pity minutes against Iran,
I think we deserved to win the game. We dominated most of the game. Created the better chances, and I think we were the better team. Mbappe was quiet for them, really didn't do much, but unfortunately we couldn't keep some of their other players out. Obviously, 2 goals is just it's not great. But the main talking point from the game is obviously Harry Kane. He scored the first penalty, missed the second one. I'm gutted for him, I have to say. It's never nice to see that sort of thing, no matter who it is. And I think Kane is one of those players that we expect him to score, and obviously he didn't. So yeah, I'm absolutely gutted for him. I'm gutted for the team in general as well, because I think we've worked really hard all tournament. We've looked really good all tournament, and now here we are in disappointing circumstances because we're out. And I don't think there's any shame in losing to France, because obviously France are a great side. But yeah, we just didn't have it right today. Taking off Saka, for example, I'm sure the boys will go into talk about it. But yeah, taking off Saka was awful decision, I think. But yeah, the overriding emotion right now is disappointment. And what's next for Southgate is, up in the air. Will he stay? Will he go? I'm sure we'll find out fairly soon. And yeah, unlucky England, but yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm just a bit disappointed. Enjoy the video. Again, sorry I couldn't be there. I'm just really not feeling well. Just lucky enough to get this little clip in. So yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon when hopefully I am feeling better. Unlucky England.